and tools for economic analysis. So how do we do the economic analysis? So one is pest analysis, second is pestle analysis, and third is SWOT analysis. And how do we do all these analysis? So in case of pest analysis, what you do for any company, any product, what you will look at the political factors, economic factors, social factors, and the technological factors. So when you want to get a good handle on the economic analysis of a country, this is what you look at. So political factors, economic factors, social factors, and the technological factors. So which means you will need to find them out. Okay, what are the political factors in this geography? What are the economic factors in this geography? What are the social factors in this geography? And what are the technological factors in this geography? So that is your pest analysis. So you may have a question in the exam as to what does pest analysis stands for. So they will say P for political, they'll give P stands for political, or which of the following is not correct as per the pest analysis. So they might say P for political, S for social, E for emergency, T for technology. Then obviously if you remember and if you understand what is pest analysis, the four factors, then you would very easily be able to answer that E stands for economic and not emergency, and that is the wrong answer, and for you it becomes a right answer. So that's your pest analysis, and pest analysis can be further expanded by adding to it LE, and L will stand for legal and E will stand for the environmental. So when you want to do the pestle analysis, so besides the political, economic, social, and technological, you will also look at the legal and environmental aspects relating to that particular geography. So that becomes your pestle analysis. SWOT analysis, I'm sure all of you must have heard of SWOT analysis so many times. SWOT, S stands for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunity, and T for threat. Now what we need to understand here, friends, कि strength and weaknesses are internal. Strengths and weaknesses are in. So the company of whose valuation you are doing, you will need to carry out, not formally, but for your own consumption, you will need to carry out the SWOT analysis, and that is to find out what are the strengths of this business and what are the weaknesses of this business, because ultimately value of any organization will depend on the strength of that organization and the weaknesses of that organization. So there are too many strengths and too few weaknesses, that means the company will get more value, more valuations. And if it is the other way around, then the answer also will be the other way around. Then you also look at the opportunities and threats. Now opportunities and threats are external. So as a company, what are the opportunities available to this company? Meaning what? Meaning what are the opportunities for this company to improve its top line and to improve its bottom line? So is it possible that this company can venture into some other product line? Is it possible that this company can venture into a new market? Is it possible that this company has got some new technology available? By making use of that technology, this company can reduce its cost of operations and thereby improve its profitability. Now all those areas, as a valuation professional, you will need to identify by yourself. Of course, when you are doing it for a company, then you will do it in consultation with that particular company, because you will initiate a dialogue with that company, and from that dialogue you will figure out as to what are the opportunities available to that company. Likewise, what are the threats for this company? And again, if threats are more, opportunities are less value to this company, and vice versa. Then you have few more models available, and those models are Michael Porter's 5 forces model and Boston Consulting Group's growth share matrix. Then you got GE McKinsey matrix, ADL matrix, and the core competencies. So these are the other tools which are available for all of us to do the the business strategy analysis as to what kind of environment this business is in, and based on the kind of environment this business is in, we can figure out as to what kind of strategy this business will need to deploy. Let's look at them one by one. So this is your Michael Porter's 5 forces industry analysis. So Michael Porter, मैनेजमेंट गुरु, उनका ये कहना है कि अगर आपको एक बिजनेस की पोजीशन मालूम करनी हो कि वो बिजनेस कितना स्ट्रांग है कितना वीक है, तो आप 5 फैक्टर्स पर फोकस कर सकते हैं. एंड विच आर दोज 5 फैक्टर्स? दोज 5 फैक्टर्स आर: नंबर 1, potential entrants. Is this industry open to everyone, or is this industry is not open to everyone? I'm sure you can understand, if there's a free entry in an industry, the value of that industry goes down. And if
Sir, excuse me. So sorry, it looks like it's still stuck in slide number 18, sir.
slide number,
it is still in the GEIC analysis through collection of information.
Okay.
18.
Okay, thank you. Let me do it. I'll stop it and I'll again start sharing it.
Sure.
Thank you. So whenever you feel any such challenge, please do not hesitate to interrupt me, and I will immediately do the needful. Is this okay now? Do you see Michael Porter's 5 forces industry analysis now on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So there are 5 forces. Number 1 is the potential entrants, and that means is it that anybody and everybody can come to the industry and start a business? And I'm sure you can understand. अगर हर कोई दुकान आके खोल सकता है, तो obviously value of my business is going to be low. But if it is not possible for everyone to enter, then the value of my business is going to be high. Then let's look at the bargaining power of the buyers. So who is in a commanding position? Is the buyer in the commanding position, or the company is in commanding position? So if the buyers are in, that means customers are dominating, then the value of the business will be lower. But if the company is in a dominating position, that means the company is able to command the customer, then the valuation of the company will be higher. And then threat of substitutes. So I'm sure you can obviously understand, if there are too many substitutes available for the product of the company, that means so much of less value. But if there are no such substitutes available, that means there is a uniqueness of the product of the company, and therefore the higher value for this company. एंड अगेन बार्गेनिंग पावर ऑफ द सप्लायर्स, कि जो मेरा वेंडर है वो डोमिनेट करता है मुझे, या मैं वेंडर को डोमिनेट करता हूँ. सो इफ आई डोमिनेट द वेंडर, दैट मीन्स इफ आई एम एबल टू डिक्टेट द टर्म्स टू माई वेंडर, देन माई वैल्यूएशन इज गोइंग टू बी हाई. एंड इफ द वेंडर इज गोइंग टू डिक्टेट टू मी, then obviously my valuation will be low to that extent. And the fifth factor is a fifth force as per the Michael Porter's 5 force model is competitive rivalry. That means are there too many players in the industry and having cutthroat competition? I'm sure you can understand, so much less value for such a business. There are less competitors, and the competition is healthy, then so much more valuation. So this is your Michael Porter's 5 forces industry analysis. These are the 5 forces of Michael Porter's model. Then you have Boston Consulting Group growth share matrix. Now it is a tool for business portfolio analysis, and that means what? That means this is something which will be useful for a group like Tata's or Birla's or Ambani's or so many of them. And remember, it is not necessary that it can be applied only to the big business houses of that kind. No, even the smaller business houses also this can be applied to. So what a Boston Consulting or BCG matrix does? So BCG matrix will analyze or will evaluate all the businesses which are there in a group from 2 perspectives. One is the market share, and second is the market growth rate. So now what understand why would a company like to do the like to use BCG matrix? A company would like to use the BCG matrix because a company के पास में 50 there is a group and that group has got 50 companies in that group. Now, obviously, those 50 companies in that group are not at the same level. There are different levels. And there are different levels, and all the companies need the time and efforts of the management. So, therefore, at some point in time, a group may decide to consolidate and look at the businesses in a very objective manner. And when I say objective manner, what does it mean? It means that the group may like to look at all the businesses from the perspective कि भाई किसको रखें और किसको छोड़ दें, क्योंकि अगर कोई ऐसा बिजनेस है जिसको कोई पोटेंशियल ही नहीं है आगे, तो उसको रख के कोई फायदा नहीं है. Unnecessary you are spending your time and resources. So if that business is going down the drain, so you might as well dispose it off. And see, that is where the valuers come in the picture. So how do you do this valuation? How do you do this evaluation? You do this evaluation from two perspective. एक तो कंपनी का मार्केट शेयर क्या है, और दूसरा वो जो प्रोडक्ट है, वो जो इंडस्ट्री है उसकी ग्रोथ, और वो जो कंपनी है उसकी ग्रोथ रेट क्या है. So you look at all your companies within a group and classify them as a star or as a cash cow or as dogs or as question mark. So meaning what? And please pay attention. इसका मतलब ये है कि there's a company in your group where market growth rate is high and your market share is also high. So that is a star company. So obviously star company है, you have to keep it with you. Then you have another situation where the market share is high but the growth rate is low. And please pay attention. That means what? That means आपका मार्केट शेयर इस इंडस्ट्री में, इस प्रोडक्ट में बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन वो प्रोडक्ट की, वो इंडस्ट्री की जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो लो है. दैट मीन्स फ्यूचर पोटेंशियल नहीं है. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? सच कंपनीज आर रेफर्ड एज कैश काउज. And remember, there are questions in the exam relating to BCG matrix, and that's where they would say the four aspects. Which of the following is not part of the BCG matrix? Cash cow, dog, question mark, moon. So if you understand this, you would very easily be able to answer that moon is the wrong answer, right? And for you, it becomes the right answer. So मार्केट ग्रोथ लो है लेकिन आपका मार्केट शेयर अच्छा है. इट्स अ कैश काउ, यानी कि जब तक जितना दूध निकालना है निकाल लो. आपका मार्केट शेयर अच्छा है लेकिन आगे ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल नहीं है, जितना दूध निकालना है निकाल लो, एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स यू गेट आउट ऑफ इट. यप.
The screen again, sir. It's still in Michael Porter's Five Forces.
Okay. I don't know why does it not move actually.
Maybe you should try it in the presentation mode.
No, it's in the presentation mode only. It's in the presentation mode only. Are you seeing something else now on the screen?
No, it's still Michael Porter's.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, it's moved now. It's moved now to understanding G. McKinsey 9-box matrix.
It is okay.
Yeah.
And now?
No, it's the same slide.
I don't know why does it happen actually. Okay, so
Maybe you can close the file once and then.
will that work?
I think one class yesterday we had